Rodriguez. I am a storyteller at Microsoft and also the author of book Brand Storytelling. And I'm here to share with you 3 tips to best do your writing and your storytelling. The very first one is to define the mission for every story that you write. Right before you tell the story where to go. Create a mission statement, tell it where to go. Say, hey, my story is dedicated to blank, your target audience, so it can do what is the point of that story, and make them feel. The feeling is really important in the story. What do you want them to feel when they come in contact with your story? So first thing is define a mission for your story before you even write it. The second one is lead with empathy. We know that there are 3 ways to lead with empathy, 3 levels of empathy. That is cognitive empathy, emotional empathy, and compassionate empathy. That really means you're going to pause for a moment, read the room, understand where your audience is at the moment, what the climate is where they sit before you actually land the story. So lead with empathy, empathize with yourself, empathize with your audience, with the characters in your story, and consider different ways that it may land. We live in a global digital world today, so there's many layers to the story and how it might land. And lastly, be creative. Enjoy the creative juices that come from writing, that come from creating, that come from telling a story. Give yourself time to let that energy flow. There's so much to do with energy. There's so much to do with creative energy when you write a story. So pause for a moment. Ask yourself questions that you may not have considered before, such as, if my story had a color, what color would it be? How could I paint it in color? What if it had a smell? How would it smell? So think of different ways, different engagement points of the story, how you best engage those senses and get more creative. A story in written form can take many other forms, and it should. Someone wrote or created the hero's journey, for example. That's one way to tell a story. You can tell them in many different ways. You are the creator, you are the designer of your story, so get creative and design. Thank you so much for having me.